Today, Bitcoin slides to the $94,000 level, and Richardson of Exodus discusses the self-custody firm's listing on the New York Stock Exchange. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Brandon Gomez. Crypto markets continue to slide this morning. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin fell 3% to the $94,000 level, Ether by 4% to $33.13, and XRP lost 1.75% to $2.27. Okay, let's talk about today's top story. A federal court will let Coinbase escalate an appeal in its legal battle with the SEC. A judge for the Southern District of New York said in a Tuesday filing that the court doesn't appreciate Coinbase's, quote, aspersions of the SEC's approach to crypto assets, but will let the crypto exchange move an appeal up to the Second Circuit Court. The judge cited the need for the appeals court's guidance on conflicting court decisions, which failed to settle what is and isn't a security among crypto assets. A decision by the Second Circuit on how the Howey test applies to crypto could set precedent for legal battles between the industry and the securities regulator going forward. The agency charged Coinbase in June of 2023, accusing the firm of operating as an unregistered exchange and broker. We reached out to the SEC for comment, but didn't hear back right away. All right, jumping to our main story, digital currency wallet firm Exodus rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange this morning after the company began trading at the NYSE in December. This comes after the SEC delayed the company's listing all the way back in May, pending additional review. Crypto World's Jordan Smith spoke with Exodus CEO Richardson about the listing and what demand for self-custody looks like after Bitcoin's recent rally.
All right, JP, thank you so much for being here. Let's start with the reason you're joining us from the New York Stock Exchange today. Exodus now trading on the NYSE American Exchange as of December, and you rang the opening bell this morning. This was a long time coming after the SEC put a pause on this process earlier in 2024. Talk about what this listing change means for Exodus.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan, thank you, first of all, for having me on here today. For us, this is a milestone in our journey, but it's been a 10-year journey, especially the journey over the last year. You're absolutely right. We came out here in May, but we are back and we got it done today. And it's been a great milestone on the journey.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about crypto-focused stocks, about cryptocurrencies specifically in the wake of the election. We saw a pretty big run-up in the price of Exodus in the lead up to your trading on the NYSE American. I'm not asking you to comment so much on the day-to-day performance, but what is the trading on this NYSE American mean for investors, mean for the crypto industry? And do you expect others to follow you on this path?
Absolutely. Look, it's been a historic moment for the industry as well, because here for two reasons. First of all, being the first self-custodial wallet to list in the public markets has been great and again historic for the industry. And second of all, as mentioned in previous conversations, that our stock is digitally represented on the blockchain. So being the first company in the United States to have our common stock digitally represented on a blockchain is a big deal, and it's historic for the industry as well.
How much does Wall Street understand that? I think there's been a lot of talk around tokenization of tokenized securities and what the future of that looks like for the NYSE and beyond. What has the conversation been like around investors, around institutions, around that idea of your common stock being represented on a blockchain?
I think for a lot of investors, they're just starting to wrap their heads around what's actually happening. And I think it's going to take time for investors to really understand. But there's a lot of enthusiasm around it because, again, this is a new technology. And I think that we're going to see the fusion of the traditional financial system and the crypto world come together. And that's why there's just so much excitement around all of this.
I think there's a regulation question in there that we'll come back to in just a second, but I want to talk about self-custody wallets, around self-custody in general. Obviously, we saw a huge uptick in Bitcoin trading activity and interest in crypto. I'm curious if the usage of self-custody in wallets, the Exodus or in the industry broadly, has followed alongside that rally in Bitcoin, if you're seeing attention come back.
Oh, absolutely. Ever since the election and the outcome of the election, and having this pro crypto administration come in and have the price action follow, Absolutely. We've had our customers and our consumers be very excited about the technology, about the assets. And so that enthusiasm is happening inside of Exodus as well.
What is the education of those new customers looking like? I mean, one of the things that we were talking about in the last cycle after some of the banking fears, after the crash in prices, was that maybe people were unsure of crypto, or they were unfamiliar about some of the larger intricacies of how it worked. These people that are coming in, this interest that's coming into self-custody or hardware wallets, are they more cognizant? Are they more educated on that type of technology? Where are they in that?
Yeah, I think, look, there's still a lot of new consumers coming in, and crypto tends to work on a 4-year cycle, right? And we see the bull market and we see the bear market. And of course, when the bear market happens, it'll happen again in the future, right? And we're going to have people say, oh, well, actually, this time they may not say that Bitcoin's dead. I was about to say, they're going to say Bitcoin's dead. I actually don't think this time they can say Bitcoin's dead. But yeah, a lot of new consumers are coming in, and they're just really excited to be a part of this new asset class, this new industry. And we're seeing a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons that people can't necessarily say with as much, confidence, be it well placed or not, that Bitcoin is dead is because there does seem to be a larger backing from Washington, from this new Congress, from the incoming administration. That comes with a lot of regulatory changes. I mentioned I was going to ask you about this. How optimistic are you about progress there? And what are some of the changes that you think are most needed when it comes to regulation? Because the industry has been asking for a lot, but I want to know what you think the priority is for your business and for the industry.
Look, I've never been more optimistic in my entire life. So I feel thrilled about what's happening. And so for the industry, yeah, President-elect Trump, he came down to Nashville in July at the Bitcoin conference, and he made some bold promises. He said that he was going to create this strategic national Bitcoin reserve. He said he's going to create a council of advisors, of executives and CEOs in the industry to help influence policy in this nation. So I'm incredibly excited. And I think even with the incoming SEC chair, he's very pro crypto. And so I think for the industry as a whole, we're going to start to get more regulatory clarity. And I think that's going to be great for everybody.
Are we talking about big ticket items? We've talked about market infrastructure. We've talked about stable coins. Are we focused on those things coming out of Congress? Or are we looking even further beyond that to things like a strategic Bitcoin reserve and the likelihood of that happening? Are we talking about Wall Street being able to explore with tokenized securities and some of those things that were maybe more regulatorily fraught in this outgoing administration versus what's coming?
I think we're talking about all of it. Like you just said, the strategic national Bitcoin reserve, that's going to be huge. I think more tokenization of securities is going to be huge. Stable coins, the growth of stable coins in 2024. I mean, it's been amazing to see hundreds of billions of dollars in stable coins, billions transacted per day. And so this is technology that can benefit consumers in America and abroad. And so I think it's all of them.
Last question for me, a quick one. What's on the roadmap for Exodus in 2025? Now that you've moved to NYSE American, what's coming up next?
For us, it really comes down to simplifying the consumer experience. So one of the things that we're super excited about is the Passkeys wallet, the ability for consumers to easily go to the world of Web3 DeFi, not have to download a wallet, and it's just an embedded instant wallet that consumers can use instantly. So that's one really exciting thing that we're looking forward to in 2025, and additional partnerships as well. I mean, in 2024, we established a partnership with Ledger to power their swaps. So give their customers the ability to swap Bitcoin to Ethereum. And we're going to have more partnerships like that in 2025.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today. We're back again tomorrow, and we'll see you then.